Hi there, how you all going? I'm finding that there's quite a few women that are trying to get rid of the blocks that are stopping them from achieving exactly what they want. But they just don't know how to unblock themselves so then they can receive what they want. So today I'm going to talk to you about how you can unblock yourself so then you can receive exactly what you want in life. So it could be that you want to have a promotion at work, or it could be to earn more money so then your children and your family can start traveling, or whatever that might be. But if there's particular blocks that are stopping you, and it could be from patterns, negative patterns from the past that keep popping up, or it could be emotions that are just stopping you because they've stopped you in their tracks and you're very fearful of moving forward. So I've actually got 6 elements today that you need to think about when you want to unblock yourself. And you need to think about ways in which you can do this in order to be able to move forward. As women, we're very different to men. Our bodies are different physically, we're mentally, and our brains are different. There's so many different things that are different for women compared to men. And you'll find that there's a lot of different modalities like NLP and psychology and counseling, and there's a whole range of things that have been developed by men and they're for men. And women are trying to use it. And look, I've done that myself. I've used a lot of those different modalities to be able to help me unblock myself to move forward. But it just hasn't ever worked because it was designed for men. And you'll find that women need to be able to have a program or have a modality that is very different to what men use. And these are the 6 different elements that we need to consider in order to unblock ourselves and move forward. And the very first one is just that. It's making sure that we find something that is gender specific. So something that is tailored for women so we can get the successes that we want, because we are different to men. So we need to make sure that the processes that we use are specifically designed for the way in which our brains work, our hormones, and a whole variety of things which make us different to men. The second thing is that we need to find something that is specific to the heart, or deals with the heart, head, and the gut. Now, there are a lot of therapies out there that will deal with those things 3 separately, or you might have something that will deal with just the head. So you're working through maybe psychology or psychiatrists with your head only. And then there's other spiritual modalities and therapies that deal with the gut and also deal with the heart. But there's very little, if any, and I haven't been able to find any that deal with all 3 of those areas, that deal with head, heart, and gut. So you need to have all of those areas aligned together, or otherwise the picture just isn't complete and you don't get the success in being able to unblock yourself from those really horrible emotions that keep popping up and stopping us from moving forward. The next part is epigenetics, and this is a new science, and it is related to all of the rubbish that we've inherited from generations upon generations. And we're not just talking the last couple of generations, we're talking about thousands of generations before us. So we want to make sure that we have something that can help us to unblock those negative thoughts that take epigenetics into consideration. Now, if you think about it, we may have limiting beliefs or these emotions that pop up, which are just stopping us from achieving what we want to do. But it's not just because of us. It could be potentially from all the generations previously. And if we've got the issue, so we could be like a weed in our lawn. If we just keep on mowing over that weed, we're actually not getting to the source of that problem. So we need something that will be able to pull that weed right out and get rid of that issue straight away. So there's no other modality out there that I know of that takes into consideration limiting beliefs and chronic emotions that have actually originated from years and years ago, and it's actually been passed on through our DNA and landed on us, and it's now our problem that we have to deal with. So we need to make sure that something specifically helping us to unblock our negative thoughts and beliefs, and so then we can achieve what we want through really addressing epigenetics. The next one is safety. A lot of the therapies and modalities out there at the moment, they are ones that you have to really relive the emotions that you did. Like if you say, for instance, if you've been sexually assaulted, a lot of the things that you need to do is to be able to relive that moment by telling your story. So rather than actually getting it out, so you're vomiting it out and it's just left out on the floor, you're actually reliving that experience, and that trauma can settle into your body. So rather than actually getting rid of it, it might be okay for the right now, but it's not long lasting because that problem hasn't been dealt with, and it can still cause you problems. So it's not safe, a lot of the modalities that we're dealing with at the moment. So we need to be able to make sure that whatever the therapies that you're using is very safe and that you don't have to relive that trauma. Now, something else that you also need to consider is that when you are dealing with any issues and you're trying to remove any limiting beliefs and removing negative emotions, you need to think about being able to replace that with something good. So then you're not left with a hole, so to speak, in your body and in your system that can be filled up again with something else that's quite negative. So it's all about relearning and being able to ensure that if, say, for instance, you're thinking of yourself as a failure, that you can actually replace that with something that's good, like I'm worthy and I'm strong and I'm capable. So that is a really important thing that we need to think about, and it's not often something that's considered in a lot of modalities. So to unblock yourself from receiving what you actually want to achieve in life, you also need to think about things that matter to you. You could have somebody tell you over and over again that you're good enough, but unless you physically believe that and you've got that story running through your head and it's convincing enough for you to believe it, they can tell you that until the cows come home. But unless you actually believe it, you're not actually going to take that on board. So all 6 of those things, gender specific, head, heart and gut, epigenetics, safety, reciprocity, and making sure that you're taking into consideration your own story and your one's own, all of those need to be considered when you're looking at being able to unblock yourself from receiving what you actually want. Now, we're really lucky because within Creatrix, this particular process takes into consideration all of these things, and it's designed for women, and it's safe, and it's long lasting. So these feelings that are limiting us, they're not going to come back again. So it's something that we can be really excited about because there's something that's designed for us as women, that is specific for us, that will actually help us to achieve exactly what we want. Now, if you're interested in that, get in touch with me and we can have a chat about that further. Or drop down in the comments below, what are some of the things that you think are really important that you need to consider when you're trying to unblock yourself so you can achieve the life that you want. So if you aren't already, please follow me on Instagram at Trinette Wellness Coach, or Facebook at Trinette Wellness Coach, or Instagram at Trinette_wellness_coach, or drop me an email and book in an appointment. We can have a chat about how Creatrix might be able to help you. So get in touch with me at transform@trinettejeski.com. All right, until next time, we'll catch you soon. See ya.